Correspondent Griff Jenkins joins us tonight with this. Good evening, Griff.
Good evening, Brett. Another ruling in a sea of lawsuits. This one, a Louisiana federal judge permanently blocking President Biden's vaccine mandates in 24 states. You can see here on this map, it is largely red states, not including bluer areas like New York and California, where many are fighting to get their jobs back after refusing to comply with vaccine mandates.
It's destroyed careers. It's destroyed families.
22-year veteran firefighter John Knox has gone nearly a year without a paycheck after being put on leave for rejecting LA's vaccine mandate, despite answering the call during the hardest times.
We still had to do our job. We couldn't, we can't perform 911 duties via Zoom. It just doesn't work. It's hard to put out a fire that way.
This as the White House attempts to walk back President Biden's declaration that the pandemic is over.
So we are in a different time. He's been very consistent about that.
That isn't sitting well with New York City sanitation worker Curtis Cutler, denied a religious exemption and fired despite being a deacon in his church.
Mr. President, if you would, please listen to my story. And please think about all my fellow brothers and sisters who are in New York City or other areas who have been affected by those who won't let this mandate go. Please put them back to work.
Even before the president's comments, this New York City firefighter's testimony began drawing attention.
I was allowed to work through the pandemic, but I wasn't allowed to eat in a restaurant.
Okay.
I could wear the uniform, go to a burning building, but not eat here.
Thank you.
What's wrong with you people?
At the federal level, State Department diplomat Marcus Thornton is leading the fight against President Biden's executive mandate, representing a group of more than 8,000 federal employees in a lawsuit in a federal appeals court, opposing the vaccine for personal, religious, and medical reasons.
Over the past year, the government has threatened me with termination, excluded me from the workforce, discriminated against me, and subjected me to harassment for standing up for those very principles.
And a ruling in the federal case is expected in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, New York City dropped their private employer vaccine mandate yesterday. However, Brett, public servants are still forced to comply.
There are a lot of these workers that are affected like this.
There are thousands, and we don't actually know that number. The federal government doesn't publicize that. And there's New York, California, all states have a lot of lawsuits. And not only that, we can't account for those that simply left their job because they didn't want to get tangled